Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every seam. It's the bigger love of the family.
Welcome everybody to Chief Talk. I'm going to say it's already 20 people.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Didn't even have our faces on the screen, and we hit 22 people. We dropped down to 20. Now we're back to 21. So, great show, everybody. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Welcome into the show. How is everybody doing? Welcome to a wonderful, hot and muggy Thursday night here in South Carolina. Hopefully the weather's a little bit better where you are, but I know that we've got some weather coming down the pipe that I am super excited about. Want to give a quick shout out to my boy Brian, first in the chat today. He said, "Hey, I beat Mac." Charles Adamson was in not too long after. Bob the Cigar Guy was over there chatting it up. Dan Burns, good evening, everyone. Fireborn, how you doing? Adam Wolf, welcome back. You missed last week. I smoked a Rocky Patel on stream, and you weren't even here. Dan Burns, Tater Dom, Pater, Janice, Michael Zakovic, Banker John, Stogie Sister, Hunter Otts. Where were you last week? I smoked a Rocky Patel on stream. Gary Zanstra, Bob Ellis, Robert Cash, my man. Gonna be seeing him not too soon. Well, no, soon-ish. Not soon.
What?
Michael Zakovic, Banker John, Matt Brugger, Rick Carroll, Sammy Low, Jamie Vaughn. There he is. Look at that picture. That's a cool profile picture.
That's a good picture.
Let's see. Robert Cash, 95 degrees, no smoky tonight outside. Oh, get out there and smoke. You can do it. Speaking of which, I want to know, what are you smoking? What are you drinking this evening? I am going to be starting off the stream with this Safe Keepings from Alec Bradley. I do believe it's pretty
Not
brand
a bad
new.
cigar. It is new.
Hunter Otts, I believe it was the sun-grown Rocky Patel that I smoked last week. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. Didn't finish it. But I am looking forward to starting this Safe Keepings from Alec Bradley. This is the first new Alec Bradley cigar that I've had since the Gatekeeper and the Kintsugi. So if this cigar goes like those two cigars did, this could end up in my top 20 list.
Kintsugi's amazing.
Gatekeeper and Kintsugi both. Very nice. Very old world. That's the using my new Polio Pro. That 10 participants won.
Semi Flo did a awesome video.
He
of
did.
that too.
He did. So before we get fully into the show, while we're talking about Mr. Sammy Flo, you're not going to be here next week.
No, I won't.
You won't be here next week.
I will be at the house, but I won't be here.
Oh, you'll be here at the house?
We fly out Friday.
Oh. Well, I have somebody in your stead.
They can be sitting in my seat?
No, they won't be sitting in your seat.
Okay.
They'll be virtual. I'm going to have on the Barber and Cigar.
Really?
On the show.
That's going to be awesome.
So make sure that you guys are ready to tune in next week. We're going to have the Barber and Cigar himself, Mr. Sammy Flo, on the show.
You need an Adventura cigar.
Next week. I might. I have the Blue Eyed Jack's Revenge. I don't have any with the metal band. That would be fun. I actually posted on Chevette Report today about the King's Gold getting 2 new Vitolas.
Right.
And that is one of the ones that has the metal band. And so I thought about sending a message to Aventura saying, hey, you want to send me a little pack real quick? See if you can get it here by Thursday. Tim Winters has got Tyson Undisputed with Kentucky Bourbon Ale. Adam Wolf got me a Liga 10 and some plantation rum. Michael Zakovic's finishing his pipe with 1Q, then firing up a Brûlée Blue. Woo!
Both great blends.
Charles Adamson's got the Howard G. Black Moses. It's going to be a fun show. It is. Sammy Flo's a hoot. I can't wait to bring Sammy Flo to you guys. I love Sammy Flo. Sammy Flo and I have become real good friends, real good buddies. And I have the pleasure of getting to see Sammy Flo every year for the past few years. So I'm looking forward to having him on and talking about everything Barber and Cigar, talking about everything that we've done together, and just letting him be a co-host. Maybe let him, bring some topics to the chat. But I'm treating him. I'm going to treat him kinder. I'm going to treat him just like you. But now that
kinder,
I know that you're going to be here, you're still not going to be able to be on the show, but you can come be here in studio with us if you want. So let's see. Fireborn. Yeah, I got my new Polio Pro just before Docilla and Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest. Used it the whole weekend along with the dual flame Pistola. Robert Cash has got the Rose. I assume that's the leather Rose. That's what Bob the Cigar Guy's smoking. So no, I'm super excited. I did want to go ahead and say that just for people who don't stay the whole show. I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm going to have on the Barber and Cigar Sammy Flo next week. Will Flo get Chief's beard under control? This beard is in control, baby. This bad boy is nice and tight. Now, just because you can't grow facial hair doesn't mean that you're allowed to be jealous of mine. Voicing it, at least. Adam Wolf says next week's show's gonna be fun. Oh, he said, oh, yeah, the 4 roses. Oh, Jay Bates, welcome into the show. How are you doing this evening? Jay Bates, 28 people. It means we got 23 on YouTube, 5 on Facebook. So,
wow.
For those of you who are on YouTube, please do go smash the like button while you're there. I know it sounds silly, but it really does do a number when we have the like button hit. It puts us in recommendeds, especially while we're live. So definitely appreciate that. Over on Facebook, we've got love reactions from Jay Bates, Sammy Flo, Jamie Vaughn, Rick Carroll, Adam Wolf, and Michael Zakovec, and George Pablo, and Charles Adamson with the like on Facebook. So appreciate everybody putting in the work, getting it done. So tonight's show, I actually accidentally misspelled it. To Perfect Autumn Cigars instead of the Perfect Autumn Cigars. I'm trying to get into a habit of where I call it autumn instead of fall.
Why?
I like autumn. It's like, why do you call it fall? Leaves fall. Autumn is like regal. It's like when you say fall, it's like using the jet light. When you say autumn, it's like using that nice soft flame. Just a sense of class, regality. Into that, I drink little Ronald Smith Dragon's Milk.
Really?
Yeah.
You were using that for pictures. Out of all the stuff you could have used for pictures, that's what you grabbed?
That's what I grabbed.
I ain't hating you.
Jay Bates says, "Save me Flo with the big giveaway." Well, luckily he won't be here in studio, so there's nothing for him to give away here. And I'm like the first lady. I like giving things away. Hi, Jay. I keep the line straight. Bates keeps the line straight and the garage door on his mind. How in the world do you have a beanie on in this humidity? What is wrong with you? Well, I'm indoors. We have an air conditioner. And there's a rabbit ear right here that sucks a lot of air right past me. So it actually feels really nice in here. You should try it. Smoke indoors sometimes. Rob Cash, fall ball. Must be a hipster thing. I mean, I could, like, if I made it a oversized beanie, I could be kind of hipster. All right. I used to wear oversized beanies back in college. But no, my hair, I mean, it is untamed. It is unruly. It is crazy. I'll get a haircut on Saturday, so you guys won't have to put up with the beanie for too much longer. But until then, beanie back on the dome. The humble brag torch. I mean, it's just the newest thing out of Calibri. Soft flame, double jet. It's a fantastic liner. BTCG, because he's all about the pumpkin spice lattes and boots, he lives for fall. I don't like pumpkin spice. I am an apple fiend, and you know that. Lee Riggins, what you drinking, Chief? I poured myself a glass of this Dragon's Milk Origin.
God, dog. That bottle was almost full.
Can you hear it? Drink me. Drink me. Drink me. Did you hear it?
I heard
Peter
it.
Janis is smoking a Cavalier Gold Diamond cigar. Gold Ash. Ooh, shout out to my boy Brian Castro. Chief, question about the new FDA article you put out. Do you think Greg is going to have some issues going forward with him looking so young? Yes! I live for the Greg slander! Yes! Greg is in the Deadly Breakfast Club. Wandering Rebel is his Instagram handle, but Greg is like 36 or 37 or something like that, and grows no facial hair, and looks like he could be 18.
Oh, the whole 21 thing?
Yeah, so the FDA article that I put out today from the PCA was talking about how with Rule 21, now they're going to, starting in September, they're going to make it to where if you look under 30, they have to ID you for tobacco sales. Also, I didn't know there were tobacco vending machines still. So any places that have the vending machines must require ID for people 21 and under.
The same company that does those humidors that you just showed last week,
Cigar Bros?
they have a vending machine to where it's a subscription. So they would go to a place that cigars may not be their primary product, and they will, as they buy one, it comes out almost like a vending machine in tubos, and it records it and sends that to the company, and the company comes out once every so often and refills it for you. So it's a plug and play. You don't have to do anything to it.
I've
It's
seen
just right
like
there.
in North Carolina, you can get scratchers out of vending machines,
Yes.
which blew my mind. It was a couple years ago. It was actually on our way to the Kentucky Barn Smoker, the 2022. And I was like, wow, you can get those out of vending machines? And you could pay with a credit card, a debit card. You could, like here, you got to pay with cash. Greg looks like he's 14. Poor kid.
I don't have a problem with carding people.
I live for the Greg slander.
I don't have a problem with carding people.
Stogie Sister, most places ID everyone all the time here. I think it's just now the main thing was, and we can actually go over to Shabetta Report and look at the article together if you'd like. Share screen. So the FDA issues final rule on tobacco 21. At long last, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration Center for Tobacco Products has released its final rule for implementing T21, including requirements of age verification of patrons appearing to be under the age of 30 and removal of tobacco vending machines from locations where patrons are permitted to enter under the age of 21. Since Congress mandated T21 in December 2019, the PCA has pressured the CTB to complete its regulatory process to prevent the ensuing compliance limbo. Over the nearly 5-year interim, the FDA shifted its T21 focus towards conducting over 1.5 million enforcement actions despite never completing the regulatory requirements. Rather than completing the regulation, the FDA diverted its regulatory resources towards more politically expended efforts aimed at limiting consumer choice. Then Joshua Habersky, the executive director of PCA, the government data has continued to support the reality that the premium cigar industry is not an issue related to the youth access or overall public health. This rule is long overdue and will publicly return to CTP's focus on issues and statutory mandate. PCA worked aggressively after the passage of T21 to get CTP to acknowledge premium cigars, pipe tobacco were not a priority given the lack of youth appeal nor evidence of the addiction. In addition to succeeding in marketing these products, the lowest priority of the FDA's enforcement guidance, many of the undisputed data points were included in legal arguments that led to the vacatur of FDA's deeming rule concerning premium cigars. PCIA continues to ask CDP to work with the industry to update the compliance resources, such as the This Is Our Watch program. CDP has yet to do so, but Director Brian King did agree to engage with retailers and manufacturers at the PCA 2025 trade show in New Orleans, last updated in 2023. This Is Our Watch has yet to incorporate the current T21 regulations. Still, a statement on the CTP website promises to do so. So if you go to showreport.com, you can actually go over here to the final rule. And this is from the FDA.gov's website, where it talks about the rule, a little bit of demonizing of tobacco and addiction and all those things. So, like Bob said, I really don't have a problem with the IDing of people under 30 either. I wish it was 18 years or older could get cigars. If you can sign up for the military, I feel like you should be able to sign up to get yourself some cigars. But that was neat reading about the tobacco vending machines. So I didn't know that was a thing anymore. I can remember like there being the old school cigarette machines,
the push pulls.
I can remember that as a kid. The vending machine surprised me. I haven't seen those since I was a kid. Had a cigar that was plugged, used a paperclip, and still sucked. What should I do? I don't know. I mean, usually when I have a cigar that's plugged like that, I'll actually start to make sure that I cut enough of my cap off. That's usually the first thing I do is, I got a little bit more space. Let me chomp down on that cap a little bit. If that doesn't open it up, what I usually do is I'll work my way down the cigar, kind of feeling it, doing the finger test. And usually you can find a spot where it's like, oh, there might be something in there. And I'll roll it around. Usually when I have that, it happens to be near the hot end. And what I've done sometimes is I've actually rolled it around so much that this big cherry just pops out of the cigar. And so I'll go back in with the lighter, go back with it, and it usually does good for me. You can buy the plug tool, the nub, whatever it is, draw tool, which if you have a Polio Pro, it's got one on there. All right, stick that bad boy in there, work it around a little bit.
If your cigar is over humidified, there's nothing you can do about it. The tobacco is swollen, so all the air channels disappear. So if it's an over humidified cigar, then there's really nothing you could do at all other than put it out, dry box it, and go back at it the next day or the day after. But what Chief is saying is exactly great ideas. When you roll it in your fingers and you find that spot and you just kind of massage it, you have to be really gentle and really slow because you have to remember you don't want to crack your wrapper if you can help it. And rubbing it like that can cause problems.
Brian's grandma was an OG. I remember when my grandma would make me buy her cigs from a vending machine. Have you ever been to an Elks Lodge? I think most still have cigarette vending machines. Bob Ellis, his grandma, also making him run to the store to get the cigs. Adam Wolf, we still got cigarette vending machines here in North Carolina. Brad Haney, welcome to the show. How are you doing? Sammy Flo, I'm already working on a topic. First, I'm calling out Bob on something. Want to know what? Tune in. Oh,
That's pretty cowardly. I'm not gonna be on to defend
it ain't
myself.
cowardly. Don't let him.
And that's
Don't let
when
him
you're gonna
gaslight
try
you.
and do
Don't let
that.
him gaslight you. No,
Cowardly.
go ahead. Do
Cowardly.
it. We're here for the
were
tea.
together at Barn Smoker.
We're here
You
for
didn't
the
call me
tea.
out personally. That's a Jason the keyboard warrior. That's all I'm saying.
My
But
boy,
my shoulders are big. I can take it.
Supremo Tobacco. My perfect autumn cigars: Umbagog, Olmec Claro, Black Diamond, Crook of the Crown, Crowned Heads, Four Kicks 2022, and Aladino Corojo Reserva. And then, to be fair, I'd smoke these year round. Jay Bates with the hash Sammy. Mac Burks and love you guys. Sorry I'm missing the show. Back to school night. Oh, love the boys. Give them some love for us. Go to bed, boys. Let your dad get on the show later. Jay Bates says those new lighters are fire. All those handy gadgets on it. Robert Cash says it's called a teaser. Such a tease. Bob Ellis, we had a little dive bar close by. They had the cigarette vending machine right inside the front door. Granny would send us down to get them for us. My only grandmother who smoked, I didn't live near in an age where I could go down to the gas station and grab her a pack of cigs. My childhood trauma gas station story is just having to walk forever to get 2 5-gallon containers of gas and walk back. But back then, you could do it all with a $20 bill. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that kind of blew my mind. Maybe it's a law in South Carolina that you can't vend out cigarettes or tobacco. That's why I don't see them, or I'm not used to ever seeing them. Like I said, I remember seeing them when I was a kid, and I lived in North Carolina as a kid, and that's where I saw them. But I also moved to South Carolina when I was a freshman in high school. So, geez, that was almost 20 years ago now.
Wow, you're old.
Uphill both ways. You darn believe it was. We're over far North Carolina. I've had a fewer plugged cigars since I got the Cigar Oasis humidifiers, and the vendors ship with Boveda packs. Keeping the right humidity makes a difference. Absolutely. I don't happen to stumble across plugged cigars too often. I've only had maybe 1 or 2 cigars in my life that were so plugged that I said, screw this cigar, I'm pitching it. In a plugged sense. I've had some cigars that tasted bad, or the draw was too loose, the very opposite of plugged, that I've pitched. I would rather have, and we've talked about this on the show before, I would rather have a plugged cigar than a too loose cigar. For a plugged cigar, there's redemption. In my history of smoking cigars, I have been able to fix plugged cigars to a certain degree of success. When I have cigars that are too loose, there's nothing I've been able to figure out to do to get that cigar to chill out and smoke right. When a cigar is too loose, in my opinion, it feels like I'm almost having to inhale the cigar to keep it lit. It's just not worth it for me at that point. Debonair is the worst at that for me. And I have not smoked the Debonair since the last
I don't
time.
even think Debonair's around anymore.
They are, because they were at PCA. Brad Haynes said, bare feet both ways uphill in the snow, 115 degrees in heat. Bob Ellis, I can only think of one I've had plugged so bad it wasn't worth fighting. I think it's 2 for me that I've been like, screw this cigar, I'm done with it. Haven't seen them vending machines since the 80s, and those were in bars. But yeah, tonight's show is titled The Perfect Autumn Cigars. And I think Bob the Cigar Guy is going to be checking out of the show a little bit early tonight. So I definitely want to make sure that we talk about some autumn cigars and why we choose those cigars during autumn or fall, in retrospect to maybe year round. So Bob the Cigar, do you have any cigar that when the weather really starts to crisp up and get cool, and you start unloading some wood from the wood rick and putting it over by the fire pit, and you're like, I know what I'm going to go grab. You have any cigars that are like that?
Well, when things get cooler, I avoid shade,
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut shade, but
A lighter smoking experience.
That's not as much as the lighter of the smoking experience. Is that the wrapper is so thin,
Yeah,
and it deals with lack of humidity and cold temperatures so much that you have a higher chance of splitting and busting and exploding. I'm at a point now to where I just smoke whatever I smoke whenever I smoke it. To be honest, it used to be I do the darker, heavier cigars in the wintertime, lighter cigars, more infused cigars in the summertime. But now I kind of just grab whatever I grab. I really don't have a rhyme or reason other than construction issues. But I don't smoke many Connecticut shades at all. So
yeah, yeah. I don't really, when it comes to lighter cigars or thin wrappered cigars in general. Honestly, there's like the very tail end of summer and the very beginning of fall when like not the date
autumn,
but like when the temperature really starts to change. I feel like where we live is the perfect time to smoke cigars outside because the humidity is at a nice mid-level, the temperature is at a nice mid-level. Everything's kind of really conducive to a good cigar smoking experience. During the summer, it's inevitable if you're smoking outside for a lot of it, you're going to pop wrappers, whether it's a Connecticut broadleaf or Connecticut shade. You're going to pop the wrapper, whether it's thicker or thin, just because of how much the cigar is going to swell on you. When it gets cold, same situation. The humidity gets sucked right out of the cigar because there's no humidity in the air. All that low temperature and low humidity just sucks it straight out of the cigar. And of course, the wrapper is the first leaf to suffer. It's really the only leaf to suffer. We don't really worry about any of the other leaves because that wrapper leaf is the most important construction-wise, in my opinion, because it keeps the cigar together. But I do think, like, in the summertime, I smoke a lot of cigars that aren't as heavy. Now,
really?
not to say that I don't smoke heavy cigars during the summer, because I was just smoking a Underground 10 the other day. When I'm outside and I'm working or it's hot and it doesn't feel perfect for just sitting in the sun and sweating your nads off, I choose to want to smoke something that doesn't make me feel heavy. Like when I'm sweating, I don't want to feel encumbered. I don't wear a jacket in summertime because I don't.
So it's like you don't eat chili in the summer,
right? Because it's too warm. It makes your stomach heavy, and you want to. It just the season kind of. I don't want to feel like I'm being burdened down by something, and so a lot of times if I do decide to smoke some cigars that are a little heavier during the warmer months. It's here in the studio. It's in my truck with the wind going past. It's a windy day. It's a rainy day, and I'm underneath the cover. Not when I'm just chilling, sitting by the garden, watching my kids play in the backyard or playing in the dirt with my youngest. With bulldozers and Paw Patrol cars and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm trying to find stuff that I'm like, all right, if I need to pitch it, I can. And two, I just don't want to feel like there's a heavy feeling left on my palate or on my skin or in my beard or whatever. William W. Well, hey there, fellas. How you doing, my friend? Tim Winters. I live in Virginia and tend to smoke more nubs during the winter months. That's something that people do a lot, especially when it gets like the farther north you get, how cold it gets during the wintertime. You don't want to be out there for 45 minutes on a fast big cigar. Or an hour and a half and not have a way to keep yourself warm, right?
Now I said no cigars really for the autumn or winter, but I would never smoke like a Java Mint in the summer, but I would smoke that. I'd grab that in a heartbeat in the wintertime. Also, and I'm going to hear crap from you about this, but I forget who has it, but somebody has a pumpkin spice cigar.
Yeah,
And it's not
they
a
were actually
heavy
talking-
pumpkin spice.
They were talking about pumpkin spice cigars
It's very
on Cigar
mild.
Daily on Monday.
It just got just a little hint to it, and I really, really do like that cigar when I want that cigar.
I'm not a pumpkin spice fan. I don't like
It
pumpkin
doesn't really
spice.
taste like pumpkin spice, but I think it's
Yeah, like
it's got
a
that
fall
nutmegginess
harvest.
to it. Yeah, it's got it's
it sets the tone. It sets the
pumpkin-y.
mood.
It does.
Yeah,
And
and there's,
it's
I don't have a
small.
problem with that. I mean,
It's a thin cigar. It's a short cigar.
you know, when it comes to wintertime, you know, especially around Christmas time at my mom and dad's house when we decorate the tree or whatever, like we'll smoke pipes in the house. So pipe tobacco and pipe tobacco type cigars like
Sets the
Stillwell
mood.
or
Yeah.
the Deadwood cigars, things like that. You know, those are cigars that get smoked often because it sets that. It's like,
Ambiance.
when do people? You don't ever find somebody eating pumpkin pie in April, right? People, you can put pumpkin pie out in April, and people who would normally eat that in October, November, December would, you know, where's the strawberries? Where's the blueberries? Where's the kiwi? Right? Let me give me the stuff that's real good, sweet and light and
Like
juicy.
eggnog.
I don't want to eat no pumpkin pie in April, but as soon as end of September, October, November, December get here, man, you tell me what. Now I will say one exclusion to the rule: I will eat apple pie if it is ever brought out. Apple pie is not seasonal for me. I'm an apple fiend. I love apple. Apple is my favorite.
No, I like the Dutch crumb apple
Oh, yeah.
pie
Oh, yeah.
more than just the regular crust apple pie. I like that a lot.
Can't go wrong with either. Banana Burn says, BRB taking my wife to school. Charles Adamson, same for drinks, Pilsner and clear alcohol in the heat, and porter and Ardbeg in the cold. Robert Cash, shout out to the infused smoker. Bob Ellis, I had a little too much pumpkin beer years ago. Still can't do pumpkin spice flavor. Fireborn, I pick random cigars all year long and use half of my 2-car garage, the smoking tent that has a space heater in it.
That's what's up.
Not knocking it. Robert Cash, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Chris Louise with the smoke. What's going on? How you doing? What you smoking? What you drinking? I'd love to know. Jerome Berry, Mac Burks, and Gary Zanstra, thank you for hitting the like button over on Facebook. Bob Ellis, Ronald Smith, thanks for hitting the love button over on Facebook as well. And to the 19 people who are on YouTube, I'm sure you guys have smashed the like button already. But if you haven't, please do. We appreciate it. Fireborn, fruit pies are a waste of time that could have been spent making a chocolate pie. Get out of here. I'll ban you just for that. J Bates, for me, when fall hits, I love the darker wrappers as well. For example, UF4 Halloween release and the UF13 and the Tap Monsters.
I'll tell you what, I just did a review on the UF13. I think it was this week, and it blew me away. I grabbed it out of the Barn Smoker pack, and I needed to review a cigar. I was going to do one out of the Barn Smoker pack, and I literally looked at him and I said, "All right,
Sean Crowley.
I know this is going to be heavy. I know it's going to be spicy. I know it's going to be this and that, but it's the right size. That's the size of cigar I want to smoke." I literally picked it because I wanted one of the Ligas, and it was the right size. I lit that thing up, and I had forgotten how much I loved the UF13. I was almost dumbstruck as to how amazing that thing was.
UF13 is one of my favorite Ligas.
I had not had it in for. I thought it was much. I thought it was going to be like a 9. I thought it was going to be a spicy 9. Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
UF13 is definitely one of the sleeper cigars out of the series. The L40 still happens to be my number one favorite Unico, I believe. And then the UF13 is right there with it. But UF13 is a longer, better smoke since it's like a 52 by 5.5 or 6.
Yeah.
Great cigar. Love that cigar a lot. Robert Cash, until tonight, I've never heard of a kiwi pie. You've never heard of like a kiwi or a key lime or a kiwi key lime pie mixed together?
No.
Yeah. Heck yeah. You don't like kiwi.
I don't like kiwi.
You can't grow up. Jay Bates, Jay, same. Last 3 days for me has been a Connie or light wrappers. Weather just demanded it. Besides my UC 10, My autumn cigar would be a Tabernacle in T52.
Great sticks.
About to smoke a Liga 9, not drinking anything at the moment. Ooh, Liga 9. Yeah, buddy. Mike Pfeiffer. Yo.
What's up, Bubba?
Yo.
The pizza man is here.
Robert Cash, being from Florida, Publix makes the best key lime pies in the last 3. The best key lime pie in the world is at a small little fruit and vegetable stand right before you get to Edisto Island in Edisto, South Carolina.
They use the little key limes. The real key limes.
Mike, poutine pie or pizza pie. Lord it be. I've heard of whoopie pie. I ain't never heard no poutine pie. And for all you oatmeal guys, we're not going any farther.
Are you serious?
Whoopie pie, yeah.
No.
I mean, I know. Look, I get it.
Okay. I didn't know if you got it.
I get it. That's why I said for all my oatmeal guys, I ain't going there. About the only pie I won't eat is rhubarb. I cannot stand pecan pie. I hate pecan pie.
I love me some pecan pie.
Pecan pie tastes like eating dirt. It's gritty. It's nasty. It ain't no good. Tim Winters light drink powered vanilla protein drink powder and crackers out of an MRE mixed together. It tastes like a kid. No, ain't no way. Because first off, you need like 4 gallons of water just to rehydrate crackers out of MRE container. Bob Ellis, I love rhubarb. My grandma made it, but it's an Appalachian staple. Rhubarb in all things rhubarb. I'm good with all pies except cherry. I'm good with cherry pie. I don't like cherries, but I can eat it. Matt Berger loves a good rhubarb pie. I don't believe you, Tim. I don't.
Now, see, when I had MREs, they didn't have any protein powders, and they had crackers. That's for sure.
Matt Berger's keeping the rhubarb population happy.
You know, we're going to Europe.
Are you?
And so Sarah's first lady's been doing tons and tons of research, and I had learned this from Jay Bates at the Barn Smoker that when you go to the bathroom, you have to use a euro coin.
Yeah, you pay.
And you got to pay.
Yeah.
And then he goes, there's not always toilet paper in those bathrooms. And so Sarah reminded me of that. So I went on eBay and I was looking for
dude wipes.
No, the MRE toilet paper things, right? Because you can pack 20 or 30 of those in a little bitty old pack, right? Lots of safe space, throw in your pocket and go. Well, they were selling 6 MRE toilet papers for $12. And I'm like, ain't no way. And so your mama got these individual dude wipe packs.
I was like, yeah, dude wipes.
Yeah, so.
Or do some research and figure out the local foliage.
We're going to be in the city.
Tim Winters says he's been in for 17 years, so that means his taste buds are pretty shot as it is. So I could see how he does feel like it tastes like key lime pie. All jokes aside, I don't believe you're truly lying to me. Michael Zakvek, dude wipes are money. Just don't flush them in your home toilet. So for me, since I haven't been able to answer the question, really, the perfect autumn fall cigars for me. When I think of autumn, when I think of fall, October-y, end of September, I think of the Kentucky Fire Cure Sweet.
All right.
That is my autumn fall
Your quintessential
cigar.
Autumn cigar, huh?
Because when you think of autumn, right, when you think of fall, right, you if you've never been to a Kentucky Barn Smoker, right, the past few Kentucky Barn Smokers have been really nice. Actually, the last one got hot as the day got on, but it started out a nice, crisp, cool. There was a big, thick layer of fog across the ground. It's just nice. The sun hadn't come up all the way. The shadows were really crispy and cold, and you're sitting there in a barn all by yourself before the whole crowd gets there. And you light up that cigar, and you just sit there and you reminisce with the tobacco you're smoking used to be hanging up right above your head, and there's a connection that's been made there for me. So for me, when I think of fall, autumn, and smoking cigars, I think of that, and then I think of sitting out by the smoker at 2:30 in the morning when all you can hear are the crickets, the crackle of the fire and the closing in the opening of your lighter. Just that nice, waft of, nice hardwood oak looming in the air. Like the smoke's not even coming up and out the chimney. It's just coming, and then it goes right back down and just lays real thin on the ground. Smells real good. You got that pork shoulder going on in there. You got your spare ribs or whatever you got in the smoker. And it's just you and all of the things that you call your dominion right there in your grasp. That's what I think of. I don't even pair it with anything. I don't need something to a bed in the situation. I don't need coffee. I don't need a drink. I don't need tea. I don't need none of it. Just me, my smoker, 2:30 in the morning, the crickets, and a Kentucky Fire Cure Sweet. That's what I think of. Eat your heart out, Robert Frost. I paint a better picture than you. Robert Cash, all day long, KFC, sweet. Where are you going, Bob the Cigar Guy? Most of Western Europe is still like here now. Keep change in your pocket just in case, but many don't even require payment anymore.
I think Spain, Italy, and France, if I'm not mistaken. I know Italy for sure. I know Spain for sure. I think France.
Robert Cash just got in 3 bundles.
Exactly.
Jay Bates just lit up a Papa's H99. Work demanded it. And then he says that pecan pie is delicious. I believe Jay Bates is somebody who probably calls it pecan pie. I call it anybody who don't call it pecan, I don't trust your cooking.
Pecans in a pie, pecans on the side of the bed.
But I don't like pecan pie. I've never been able to acquire a taste for it.
It's got to be thin. You can't have that thick gelatinous layer. It's got to be kind of thin in comparison to everything else. You got to have a lot of pecans in there, not just some chopped up ones either. You got to get some full half pecans thrown up in there.
Robert Cash says they're all good soccer countries.
There's no such thing as good soccer countries.
Sammy Flo wants to know if you mapped out the cash pits or cigar lounges.
No, I have not. I plan to possibly do a review or two while I'm there. I'm not sure. Hope to take lots of pictures. I'm going to bring my own cigars. I'm going to be smoking on the cruise ship for sure. Hopefully I'll be able to stop in cigar places, but this is not really a Bob the Cigar Guy trip. This is a Bob and Sarah trip. And so I'm not going to capitalize on all the time. I really want to see Sarah enjoy other countries, and I want to just live through her vicariously in her excitement of all the stuff. Now, I'm excited to go to Pompeii. I really am excited to go to Pompeii. I'm excited to go to the Colosseum, and I'm excited to go under the roads of Rome, through the catacombs and through the under things. So I'm really stoked about that. But everything else is just whatever. So we're gonna have pizza. We're gonna get a Neapolitan. No,
if you want pizza, go to New York.
Is it Neapolitan? I think it's called the Neapolitan, the original pie, which was tomato with mozzarella and pieces of basil. And that's the pie. I want to go get a pie.
It's not a margarita?
Margarita, that's it. Margarita.
Sammy Flo says the southern countries can still be a little backwards, especially in rural areas, so the first lady is right. Sammy Flo's excited for you guys. Robert Cash, yeah, soccer's garbage, but Euro football is banging. You never walk alone. That's right. But no, yeah, when I think of fall, I always that's the only cigar that I can think of. Now I'm definitely online in tune with the mindset of thicker, heavier cigars. When it starts getting colder, you want a cigar that's going to burn well. Bob Cigar Guy's peace now. So go ahead and tell everybody goodbye, and I'll take you off screen. He gone. You cut it off? Thanks. So when it comes to I thought I removed you out of the studio. Kick. So when it comes to Sammy Flo said good night, Bob.
Good night, everybody. See you in 3 weeks.
Adam Wolf says, have a good night, Bob. I'm sure you'll make a guest. I'm sure that you're going to slide out here at some point next week while Sammy Flo is in your stead. But when I do think of autumn, fall cigars, Kentucky Fire Cure, top of my list. Then I start getting into some of like man, the Senator. Whoo boy, talk about a good cigar to smoke when it's nice outside and crisp. Senator is definitely a good cigar. I definitely do tend to switch it up a little bit when it comes to. That was something I guess I really didn't think about, but I guess I subconsciously do it in the sense of I do smoke cigars that can hang in the cooler temperatures a lot better. Um, so yeah, we are going to have Sammy Flo on next week, the barber and cigar himself. This guy right there. We're going to have him on next week in the stead of Bob the Cigar. I actually thought they were leaving on Thursday next week. I didn't know they were leaving out on Friday. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I do remember my mom telling me they're not leaving until like midday Friday or something like that. Tim Winters, all Stillwell Star for fall and winter. Not a bad pick, not a bad choice. I'm definitely along that. I don't smoke a lot of Stillwell as it is. Not that I don't like them. I just don't have as many of them as I would like to smoke them as much as I would like. We've got a handful here at the studio since we do Sundays with Saka every week. So we do have a good amount of the Stillwell cigars. But again, I would really call that more of like a winter time, just because I'm not outside when I'm inside. Everything's once you get past Halloween, right? You go to Walmart or Target or Home Depot or whatever, they've already got the Christmas stuff out. So once Halloween's over, they just kind of skip over Thanksgiving and go straight into Christmas. So the mood starts to get set. Christmas music's on the radio, so it's like this never-ending feeling of like you're in Christmas for 2.5 months or whatever it is. Which I'm not complaining whatsoever. The fall and winter, that's when your boy Chief starts to stun on everybody. That's my game. She probably told you as you cut her off and put a commercial. That's a possibility as well. That's a really good possibility. What size do you do in the KFC suites? Any of them. I prefer Toros in just about anything that I smoke. That's what I've been smoking here the most of recently is Toros when it comes to any of the Kentucky Fire Cure. And not to say that I don't smoke the Kentucky Fire Cure as well. Like I do smoke those. I prefer the sweets. But I do enjoy a Kentucky Fire Cure as well. I do not, and you will not catch me smoking a Swamp Thing. They don't even produce them anymore. But even if I've came across a whole batch of them for $1 a piece, I'm not buying them. I'm not a Candela fan. You guys know that. You ain't gonna catch me smoking no Swamp Thing. Dan Burns back for the rest of the show. We just missed Bob. He peaced out. He's got to work this weekend all the way through, and then they mandated the holiday, so he's been working for like 5 days in a row, and he's got another 5 or 7 days in a row or something like that. So he's a little tired. He told me before the show started I might not make it to 9 o'clock. So that's why I wanted to kind of get into the topic of the show at 8:40, because I knew there was a real good possibility that he would be peacing out. And as soon as 8:59 hit on my computer, he was already shuffling around his desk trying to get stuff moved around. So I knew it was coming. Sometimes he'll tell me that he's got like a hard deadline that he wants to get off, and he'll stay out longer. And sometimes I won't have prepared a lot to talk about during the show or whatever, and I'll be like, hey, it's going to be an early show tonight. We'll get off at like 9:15. We'll do a full hour, and then we end up going till 10 o'clock. And it's just because the topics are flowing, the topics are going, the conversation's great, the cigars are smoking good, we've got stuff to talk about, chats going back and forth. So it's great having Bob as a co-host, because when I'm waiting on a chat bubble to pop up or something like that, or I can talk through a topic by myself way faster by myself than if I've got somebody to talk back and forth, argue, bounce ideas off of, whatever it be. Definitely gonna rely on our topic which we've kind of pittered out on a little bit. And then what else pops up in the comments as well to continue the show. Sammy Flo, in autumn, do you or anyone watching sip on autumn hot drinks like hot apple cider with a cigar? Absolutely. Starbucks last week brought out their fall drink selection with pumpkin spice lattes and some of the apple cider coffees and stuff like that. I don't do pumpkin spice. I don't hate on anybody who does pumpkin spice. I just don't like pumpkin spice myself. I love pumpkin pie, just not a pumpkin spice fan. But they did have some caramel apple coffees that they put out last week, and I went and got one day of. So definitely a big fan of apple ciders. For my birthday every year, which my birthday is in September, we go up to an apple orchard right up the mountain from my house. It's not too far. It's about 35-40 minutes. It's actually closer from my mom and dad's house than it is my house. But we go up there and we do apple picking and do the apple donuts and apple ciders and get some of the hard ciders and stuff like that. So when it comes fall, I'm as basic as it gets. You know, throw me in a cardigan, not really. Throw me in my flannel or my Carhartt. I'm a happy little boy. Robert Cash, other than the KFC suite, what is the last infused that you enjoyed? The last infused that I enjoyed? I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I enjoy a lot of infused cigars. I love the acid line. I love the Deadwood line. I'm looking forward to the new Freestyle Live cigar that's coming out with the Deadwood line extension. You know, we talked about this last week. Like, it's not that I don't like infused cigars. I just find myself smoking more traditional cigars more often. It's a flavor profile that I seem to enjoy more, which is kind of weird because when I first started out, you know, I started out as a traditional smoker, and then everybody said, well, if you smoke acid cigars or any of the other cigars that are infused or like that, you're not a real cigar smoker. So I stayed away from them. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try and see what the hype's all about. And then I got into it. Acid Plush, Cuba Arte, Cuba Cuba, Sweet Jane, the Crazy Alice, Fat Bottom Betty, Leather Rose, Stillwell, Aromatic, the Nub Winter Blend. Shout out my boy Jimmy Vaughn. You know, those are cigars that I enjoyed. I just find myself wanting to smoke regular, normal cigars more than ever. You know, most of the time. So, but I do slip into, you know, I've smoked, I don't know, probably 15, 20 Kentucky Fire Cures sweets or Kentucky Fire Cure regular non-sweet in the past month, month and a half. Just kind of preparing my body for fall, right? So no shade on my part. Clay Murph, Dan Burns, Mike Pfeiffer, thanks for hitting the like button over on Facebook, and all 23 of you who are on YouTube, thank you for hitting the like button over on YouTube as well. Let's see. Wouldn't mind a hint of apple in an infused smoke. See, it would depend because I wouldn't want it to be like a sour apple, like a green apple, right? I would rather it be a nice crisp Fuji apple or something like that that's got a nice savory apple flavor. Dan Burns, I don't like the taste of pumpkin. I like the taste of pumpkin. I love pumpkin pies. I'm just not a big pumpkin spice fan. Hot cider with a KFC. Ooh, now you're speaking my language. I don't drink Fireball or other cinnamon whiskey except in cider. We did the whole orchard apple picking thing last weekend. Nice. Hot spiced apple cider with honey is great. Ooh. Honey and apple go together like peanut butter and jelly. Oh man, them donuts. Yes, sir. That's the first thing I do when we go to the apple orchard. Is I go get in line for the donuts. I don't even wait. I get 3 bags. I'll eat a bag while I'm there. I'll eat a bag on the way home, and I got a bag when I'm home. And I do not care how much weight I put on when I'm eating them donuts. I really like the midnight oil infused. Interesting. Bourbon or whiskey infused cigars or cigarillos are good. Again, when it comes to, you know, the infused stuff, I'm usually when I'm on them, outside of the Kentucky Fire Cure Suite, I'm really going for something that is really gonna, knock you square in the teeth infused wise. So the plush is really my go-to when it comes to the acid line. Fat Bottom Betty when it comes to Deadwood or Leather Rose. Leather Rose isn't that bad. And then again, like the 2022? I think it was 2022. Stillwell Christmas Blend is the one that I like the most. I used to smoke a lot of hookah. There are a lot of good apple flavor with hookah tobaccos. Mm-hmm. Do you put apple down in the bottom of the hookah, or is like flavored apple in the puck, or the tobacco flavored? I've only done hookah once. That was a Fabian Ziegler last year, or year before, 2 years ago, when him and Jared came up here, and he brought his hookah and we did it. It was pretty cool. I thought it was a lot of fun. The wife wasn't super excited about it. She was like, "Oh, this is something else you're gonna have lying around the house." I was like, "No, I'm just doing it because Fabian's here." Sammy Flo did hookah once and not for me. I thought it was pretty cool how it's the water vapor or whatever, and it makes you sound weird when you're talking and all the smoke's coming out and you just blow it out and there's no repercussion. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. The hookah tobacco comes in many flavors. Like I said, this is not hookah talk. So when it comes to the hookah, your boy is out of his depth. Can't swim very long in it. Now I will say that this Alec Bradley Safe Keepings, what I'm smoking this evening, love the band work on it. Reminds me of like Magic the Gathering, brick wall with the ivy crawling down it and the stairwell to wherever it goes and the night sky behind it. And you've got some a fountain and a Grecian statue or whatever on it. It's kind of cool. Really good cigar. I've got another one. I'm excited to smoke it because this is a cigar that I think is going to make my top 20. Very clean smoke. Well, Banana can enjoy banana hookah. No, she ain't going nowhere near anything that resembles smoking. But yeah, when it comes to the latter months of the year before it turns to winter in December, I'm big on apple as much as I can. Apple fritters, apple crisp, apple turnovers, apple donuts, apple pie, apple bread, apple butter, all of it. I go crazy. I almost need to find a job just to be able to keep my apple habit going. Apple addiction, really. Charles Adamson, I went through a phase, collected 4 or 5 hookah pipes. It's a social thing, better with a group. And I think I've noticed that with anybody that I've ever seen doing hookahs, like they're never doing it by themselves. They've always got 3, 4, 5 people around with them. Fabian actually has a box of tips that he brings, and you get your own tip, and you just interchange the tips. So I thought that was pretty cleanly. So I thought it was pretty cool. Had no idea. Whenever I saw hookahs, I was like, "Oh, it's a bong! It's a bong!" I see them in Middle Eastern stores or Middle Eastern gas stations, things like that. So I just thought it was for nefarious purposes and reasons. But I was schooled and learned, and now I'm no longer ignorant. At least in that retrospect, I'm ignorant in other places. But yeah, with fall coming, like this last week was beautiful. It barely got over 85 degrees. I think it got up to 85 once. The nighttime was 65, 63 degrees. The morning times in the high 50s. And I knew it was faux fall 1. And so next week we're going to get back down low and we're going to get faux fall 2 again. And then right before my birthday, it's going to get hot. And it's like, oh, this sucks. That's how it's always been. Fireborn. Now I'm wondering what cigar smoke would be like when I'm drawn through water like a hookah. I mean, you can always try it. You can always do it with a bong, right? You can stuck that thing right in the little bowl and doesn't hurt to try. I'm not gonna do it. Tim Winter says that the hookah lounges in Honduras are awesome. I've never been to a hookah lounge. They have one in Vegas that looked pretty cool. But it's just not my scene. I'd much rather be around a whole bunch of old grumpy dudes smoking cigars and drinking brown water. Speaking of which, time to take a little drink. Got a little on my beard there. I mean, you can try it. Dan Burns dealing with 90-95 temps for the next week or so. Can't wait for the fall temps. Different process. Fireborn tobacco doesn't burn directly in a hookah. The charcoal on tobacco heats it up more like a vape. Still try it. Try it and report back and tell us if you died or not. Guess we don't hear back. He died. Dan Burns wants to know, Chief, what's that drink you're drinking tonight? I am drinking some of this Dragon's Milk Origin. This is a straight bourbon whiskey aged in charred American white oak barrels for 5 years, 95 proof. This was given to us by our wonderful road dog, Senor Smith, few months ago when he was here in studio with us, Ron. He brought it, and it's just been sitting up here on the shelf. And so when I was getting ready for the show, I was like, oh, I want to drink something tonight. And then when I pulled out the cigar, I was like, ooh, I want to take a photo of it and post it to Instagram. So I did post it in my stories this evening over on Instagram. And I was like, oh, let me take a picture of it. And so that's why Dad was like, that's what you poured for your photos? Like, no, I was already wanting to drink something tonight. I don't drink every Thursday night. But when I do, I want to drink something that's good. And so since I finished the Eagle Rare, I figured that Dragon's Milk Origin was so good. I just wanted to get back on it a little bit. Hookah and vape. This show gone off the rails. Nah. Ronald Smith, love that whiskey, as you know. Speak of the devil, and he shows up. How you doing, Road Dog? How's your trip going? Charles Adamson, all the hookah lounges closed around here when California outlawed flavored tobacco. There's an exemption for pipe tobacco, but the lounges didn't want to fight it. Dan Burns, how's it taste? Smooth, smoky aftertaste? No, it's very sweet, very smooth, no burn whatsoever. That's one of the things that I really loved about it the first time I tried it when Senor Ronald Smith was here a few months ago, was just how sweet it was and how there was no burn. So it's not smoky at all. It's very sweet. It's very nice, very crisp, very clean. Doesn't make you feel like you gotta go wipe your tongue off in a dish towel or something like that. William W., my man. Opening up a Dragon Milk Crimson Keep. Ooh. Now, one of the things with like the Dragon's Milk beer, lager, ale is like those are, I'm only good for like one of those because they are so sweet. This is not overly sweet like the other drinks from Dragon's Milk that I've had are. So it's very good. Always super thankful that Ronald Smith gifted us with that bottle. Fireborn, I love bourbon, so I have to find some. Look high, look low. Sounds good. I'll have to add that to my list. Add it. Don't subtract it. Unless you drink it. Hot toddy season, Jay Bates. I know you're listening. Hot toddy season is upon us. Jay Bates doesn't need a reason to drink a hot toddy, but fall comes. Football. Hey, speaking of which, football is back this weekend. Even though Florida State, got their teeth kicked in last week in Ireland, of all places. Football season is back this weekend. The Florida Gators take on the Miami Hurricanes in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Swamp. It's the return series of the two-legged series that started in 2022, I think. 2021, 2022, where Florida beat Miami in Miami. So this is the return leg of that series. So super looking forward to it, the Gators. Don't have high expectations for this season, but I always want to beat Miami, Georgia, and Florida State whenever we play them. So, yeah, buddy, football season's here, baby. The Premier League, real football, GGMU. You never walk alone. Come on, you. What does the S stand for Tottenham? Spurs. Oh, Spurs. Calling you Spurs. Tim Winters, apparently a Michigan fan. But no, it's a great season for me, a great time of the year for me because I've got the Premier League, Champions League's coming back, football season starting up. So, TV gonna be rolling, baby. Glory, glory, Man United. Speaking of Man United and Liverpool, they play this weekend. Big red on red showdown this weekend. So looking forward to that. I gotta find a way to get out of church early on Sunday. Unfortunately, Liverpool had to play 2 Sundays in a row. So gotta find a way to. Pastor, I'm not feeling so good. I gotta go home. Where am I? Liverpool kid. But no, yeah, the NFL's right around the corner. I don't watch NFL. I don't really care for the NFL, but the NFL's right around the corner as well. Have they finished preseason or they're still in preseason? But yeah, all the good sports are back. This is the best time of year. Weather starts getting nice. I always prefer it to be cold than hot. I've always felt that way. I've always said that I would rather have to put on more clothes than take off clothes because you can always at least get warm. Sometimes you can't get cold enough. So I'm definitely this is my time of year. I love it. My wife hates it because she gets cold so fast, so she's always cold and miserable. I'm just hot and miserable from the second half of spring all the way through most of fall. Just because fall does still keep some nice warm days. William W. is getting that way himself. Nah, give me the cold, buddy. Give me the cold. Ron Smith with the Go Blue. So, yeah, I'm super excited. This weekend's going to be great. College football's back. It's going to be a full slate of games. I think you got games. I think there's games tonight, games tomorrow, games Saturday, games Sunday. So it's just a great time to be a college football fan. I know, a lot of people are, DJ Eli's big in NFL with the Bears. Sammy Flo, I think he's a Giants fan. I could be wrong. Sammy Flo, if you're still watching, let me know. We'll have to talk about that next week. And if you did not catch, next week, Sammy Flo is going to be on the show in place of Bob the Cigar Guy. So if you ever wanted to hear from the barber and cigar himself, he will be on the show. Not in studio. He'll be virtual studio. But I do look forward to having Sammy Flo on next week. Let's say North Carolina is playing right now. Who's North Carolina playing? The saying I always use is you can always add more clothes in the cold, but you can only take off so much before you get arrested. Bob Ellis, I saw the local brick and mortar just got in West Tampa Sticks. Anything? Yes, West Tampa Red, West Tampa Black. Absolutely. Love both those cigars. No football for me, but hunting season is coming. The Giants, baby. I saw somebody earlier that said that was it hunting sticks, hunting cigars, or something like that. Let's see if I can come up here and find it. I'm just gonna skim comments real fast. I've probably already gone over it, but when it comes to hunting and cigars, I don't think I would smoke cigars while hunting. I feel like that would definitely trigger the deer a little bit, or at least it'll trigger the squirrels and let you know the deer. Let the deer know that you up there having a good time with yourself. Minnesota. Bob Ellis, University of Illinois and Eastern Illinois are playing right now. Suns at the game. Whoop. Adam Wolf, notorious bandwagon fan. Roll Tide, baby. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the Crimson Tide for the next few years. Sometimes when dynasties, come to an end, it takes a little while for that dynasty to come back. I mean, you got to think Alabama had been a prominent figure in the football sphere for so long, and then all of a sudden nobody worried about Alabama anymore. I mean, Alabama was the team you wanted on your schedule for a cupcake, and then Nick Saban comes through, and hey, Alabama powerhouse. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with DeBoer and what happens up at Alabama, especially with the attrition that's happened with the portal and people leaving and all that kind of stuff. So definitely a program to keep your eye on. As much as it pains me to say, I feel like Georgia's still going to be a team to be reckoned with. I feel like Kirby Smart's doing a really great job with the program in recruiting. While I think he's cheating, but everybody has a chance to pay players now, so can't call bad hat too much. I just say it because it's Georgia. And I'm a Gator fan, and it's a sworn enemy. I almost hate Georgia. I hate Georgia more than I hate Florida State. I hate Florida State, and I'll never be a time where I cheer for Florida State or Georgia. But I hate Georgia more than I hate Florida State. Smoke the cigars on the way home or at camp. Oh, okay. Still feel like you would. I mean, when I smoke, I smell like cigar smoke for a while. J Bates football is back. Woo woo. I drink hot toddies when I'm sick. I almost got canceled there. Whoops. Glad I didn't say that. Bob Ellis says he always loved Bobby Bowden. I'm glad for you. But I'm sure as a person he was fantastic. But garnet and gold is the sworn colors of the enemy for me. So garnet and gold, red and black, yellow and purple, orange and green. I don't feel bad for Clemson. I've learned to hate Clemson more in my time living in the upstate of South Carolina than I have ever thought I would. A team that has no affiliation with playing against my team at all. Clemson fans, they had their few years of success, in the last decade, which is a program that's not known for being overly successful. And they were the cockiest, loudest, mangiest, nastiest bunch of people I've ever had to deal with. So anytime Clemson loses, I revel. I love having to go to church on Sunday after a Saturday when Clemson got their teeth kicked in and saying, how about them Tigers? So I don't feel bad for them at all. I have grown a disdain for Clemson Tigers. They're just unbearable. Unbearable. I mean, yeah, have your success, man. I'm happy for you having success. But when your fans start getting cocky and they start just talking off the wall, I mean, it's like I actually feel bad for the program. Like, I want to like Dabo. I want to like the team right up the road from me that's done so well in the past decade. But, man, their fans just make it so miserable to want to have anything to do with. So, with that being said, I hope Clemson loses every game this year, along with Georgia and Florida State, LSU, Miami. I really don't care for Michigan much, but because I have so many friends that I call brothers that love Michigan, I don't cheer against them. I don't cheer for them, but I don't cheer against them. I did cheer for them in the national championship. So, J Bates, quit crying. Go ahead and erase what you were typing, J Bates, because I know it was coming. This is about the time where I think I probably should stop smoking this cigar because it has gotten just a tad bit bitter on me. I'm not enjoying it, and I don't want that to be the lasting impression I have of that cigar. That is the, I keep forgetting the name of it. I won't call it the Gatekeeper because it's got a big old gate on it. The Safe Keepings. But the Gatekeeper is a different House Bradley cigar. Smoking another cigar that's new to me. Not sure how much longer the show's going to go, but I'm definitely going to continue smoking because I got stuff I got to do at the studio tonight. This is the Black Label Trading Company Bishop's Blend. Go ahead and get my light out here so you guys can see. This is the Black Label Trading Company's Bishop's Blend. I do believe it's a new blend. They just sent it to us a couple weeks ago. So I've been holding off on smoking this one. Go ahead and jump into it. I keep trying to give Black Label Trading Company as, much due diligence and wonder in not allowing the PCA 2022 frustrations to cloud my judgment from smoking their cigars. So, let me jump into this one, see how it is. It's closed foot, which I'm not a big fan of. I really don't like closed foot cigars. Oof, I did not cut enough of that cigar to tip off. Much better. Much better. Mo better, mo better. You like Wisconsin? You don't like Wisconsin? Chief, you almost got canceled for that. That's funny. Almost. Sammy Flo, okay, folks, be well and have a great long weekend. Chief, talk to you soon. Yes, sir. For those of you who might have joined in the show since the last time we had talked about it, next week I will not have Bob the Cigar Guy on the show. He'll be preparing to leave for his cruise. He might be here in studio. He might make a cameo appearance coming up behind me, but he will not have a direct link to the show because Sammy Flo is going to be sitting in that virtual chair over there. Sammy Flo, the Barber and Cigar, is going to be coming along with us. So if you have questions, you want to think about questions or topics for the New Yorker himself, the barber himself, the cigar man himself, go ahead and write them down. Texas Taurus, welcome in. Bob the Cigar Cruiser. But yeah, Sammy Flo is going to be with us virtually, with me, not with us, virtually, in studio next week. So do make sure you come and smash the 20 number. We smashed it tonight. We were over 30 for a while early into the show. We were at, when I was still rolling the Chevetta Report ad at the very beginning of the show, we were at 22 people. So we have not dropped under 20 since we hit that 20 mark an hour and 20 minutes ago. So we're cruising. We're doing great. Texas Taurus, how you doing this evening? What are you smoking? What you drinking? I want to know. Have any cigars that you would say are really an autumn or a fall type cigar for you? Not bad. Very, very cocoa-y, which I did not expect from Black Label. Very heavy on the cocoa presence. Oscar Criollo tonight. Ooh, a little Oscar Vallardes going on over at the Texas Taurus Casa. Trying for a second time. Uh-oh. That means it must not have been great on the first try. Undecided on a drink. Well, I'm sure you're going to find something that goes alongside it well. Hopefully it smokes well for you. Hopefully it tastes good. Smokes well, does all that good jazz for you. Don't ever want to have to worry about a cigar that's not smoking right for you. But yeah, so we've talked about our perfect autumn cigars. A lot of people with a lot of great suggestions, a lot of great advice on what they like to smoke. I feel like Bob the Cigar Guy is very insightful about not smoking cigars that have really thin wrapper cigars like Connecticut shade cigars, just because he doesn't want to have to worry about the construction, the cigar falling apart like Rocky Patel did last week. But I don't think that was Rocky Patel's fault. I think it was just Transit's fault. I don't think Bob the Cigar Guy thought I was going to smoke that cigar ever, so I don't think he really truly cared about if it got bumped or anything like that. Or maybe Sammy Flo felt like it wasn't going to ever get smoked, and so it just, wasn't never going to work out. But hey, it happened. And if you weren't here last week to see me smoke a Rocky Patel cigar, you missed out. We've talked about the old sports that are on the telly. You've got all sorts of, it's, and not even, the European, or not even the English Premier League, but you've got all of the Europeans. You've got Barcelona, Madrid playing. You've got the German teams playing. In the Bundesliga, you've got the Italian teams playing. You got, college football coming on this weekend in full force. Last weekend, it was like a teaser, but this weekend is the full launch of college football. So excited for that. Charles Adamson says the Bronzeback is amazing for outdoors and staying lit. That's just a Saka thing, I think. I think it's just hard to put out a Saka cigar, man. I honestly think that you could maybe very possibly take a Saka cigar, dunk it in water very fast, and pull it back out, and it might still be lit. I'm not going to do it, but Jay Bates says he still needs to get some Bronzeback. Absolutely. Bronzeback's a fantastic cigar. Love that cigar. Bronzeback and the new Wise Man Maduro are fighting for one for me right now. So I'm glad I don't have a hard time figuring out which one, having a top cigar this year. I always worry about, I just smoked a lot of cigars that all kind of were the same for me. So it's like, I don't know if I have a top, 5 cigar top. And I got a top 2 for sure. So this Safe Keepings, that's another cigar that I think is probably going to end up in my top 10 this year. That's a really good cigar. I really enjoyed that. Highly suggest if you get a chance to go to a brick and mortar or go online and you're looking for some cigars, check out the Ali Bradley Safe Keepings. Really good cigar, in my opinion. Very smooth. Almost reminded me, actually, when I lit it up, I think I said it's like an old man cigar. Just kind of reminds you of that like nostalgic old school lounge smell when you walk in. Not that dank, musty smell, but like that, ooh, there were cigars smoked here kind of sort of smell. So that's a very high recommendation on my list if you haven't had a chance to get to it yet. Jay Bates, get on an online seller's notification list and buy as soon as available. They sell out in days. I can't say where to go because YouTube will get mad at me. But Jay Bates, you know the circles and the outlets to get a hold of. This is not bad. Still got a heavy cocoa note. Very prominent cocoa note. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I like it a lot. Artwork's pretty cool. But the Black Label trading companies logos are always on point with skulls and the religious type artwork that goes along with it. Jay, I think they even make the Bronzeback in a shorter smoke where you could enjoy them around the school when you're doing your door checks and whatnot. And it's still a budget price smoke. I mean, what you're spending on your Fritas. Jay Bates has been spending all his money at the Renaissance fairs. Oh, I started my new, talked about it last week, where I was going to start my new upper body strength workout regimen this week, and I have Monday and Tuesday hit like a Mack truck. I'm still sore. But I've been able to pop my back more in the past few days than I have in the past few years. It has been incredible. If anything, if the workouts get too heavy, I'm just going to drop it down and just keep doing the workouts because it makes my back feel amazing. And this chair is almost like the memes where it's like when you go to the school chairs and they're the perfect spot in the middle of your back where you can lean back and pop them 4 or 5 good times. This chair, I got one of the like those leather lounge chairs, old school barrel chairs. for the studio. We got a bunch of them in the studio, or a handful of them in the studio, and they are perfect for popping bags. Oh Lord, you gonna pop it? I can drop it. Lord, I hope I don't drop nothing. I'm gonna pop it. I hope it don't lock up, but it could. Something drops. Y'all go ahead and call the TR police for me because I need them to come pick it up. So, but no, I'm sore in spots that I haven't been sore since starting working back out in January. Um, so I'm going on completing 8 months of every month, every week, multiple times a week in the gym, finishing the 8th month out. So it's been a good journey. I'm I'm not focused on losing the weight like I was when I originally did when I lost 30 pounds. Because since I think I've lost 36 pounds in total. But once I hit 30 pounds, I haven't lost much weight. So I'm more focused on getting strong for the Highland Games. I'm throwing the Highland Games at the end of September, so I'm really looking forward to that again. Because originally it was, work out and get strong for the Highland Games in May, and then I was like, well, I want to keep doing it. I want to do it again, so let's throw in September. So there's a chance I could throw again in October. It's not a barn smoker weekend, so I might do that. I'm not sure. But I'm definitely throwing it at the end of September. Looking forward to that. How about the Karen Berger cigars? Any good? I don't think I've ever had any of the Karen Berger cigars. I know Dad. He's actually personal friends with Karen Berger. So I think he talks pretty highly of her cigars. Don't forget to work the core muscles too. Yeah, buddy. A lot of the workouts I'm doing they're not core exercises, but they utilize your core to stabilize. So like I'm doing a lot of overhead pressing, whether it be with the barbell or with dumbbells, and so that activates the outside of your core to keep you upright and stable. But I'm not doing like sit-ups and twists and all that kind of stuff. I probably should dedicate a day at the gym to that, but I haven't been. Adam Wolf, resident cigar smoker, has some good ones. I'm a fan of this. 2 brand new cigars for me on the same show, and I'm happy with both of them. Like I said, this is very cocoa-y. It still has not left. I'm a huge fan of this Bishop's blend. Adam Wolf, since you smoke everything, have you gotten a hold of any of these? And if not, I highly suggest it, and I want to know what you think. I know if you're up at the Pipe and Pint all the time, so if they've got it, check it out. Adam, if you actually weren't here last week, and you got a lot of praise from me because we were talking about just how many different cigars you smoke a year, and how that's like one of the coolest things about you is like you don't really meander around smoking a lot of the same cigar all the time. You smoke a lot of different cigars, and so you kind of have a really good fingerprint on the pulse of what's coming out and the cigars that are out and available. And I'm glad that since your move from Florida to North Carolina, you've been able to find a spot up at the Pipe and Pint, and it seems like the Pipe and Pint's got a really good selection. I know Greg talks a lot about it. He posts a lot of the stuff for him. Had some of the Bishop's blends in the past, but not the newest one yet. Well, check it out. Definitely, I highly suggest it. It's high on the chief ranking list for this year. I think this is another cigar that could sneak into my top 20 for sure. Just off the top of my head, definitely a good cigar that I can think of that I've had this year. Now, this Safekeepings, that's definitely in my top 20 for sure, 100% hands down. That was such a good cigar. I think that's going to definitely be in my top 10. And I love that band. I haven't been in love with a band as much as I have with this one in such a long time. And this is a super artsy band too. Like there's a lot going on. And usually bands, when they get super artsy, kind of turn me off to a cigar. I won't even try it just because it looks like they're trying to get you with the band instead of the blend. This I'm a fan. I love it. Definitely suggest it. Safekeepings. Check it out. Don't like to smoke the same stuff all the time to keep my palate guessing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love that you got the opportunity to do it. I smoke a lot of the same stuff because I got a lot of the same stuff, and I don't mind. I don't mind it. Um, but I know that when I walk into a lounge, the next time I'm going to be looking for. I'm definitely going to be looking for these safekeepings for sure. And luckily, the lounges closest to me that I frequent the most is a big Alec Bradley lounge. So I'm super excited. And that's really great because the last two cigars that Alec Bradley came out with, the Kintsugi and the Gatekeeper, both hit my top 20 list for last year. Yeah, safekeepings. I like it. It's a really good cigar. So, but yeah, that's I think that pretty much wraps it up for Old Chief. We were able to keep the show rolling for another 47 minutes after Bob the Cigar Guy left, but I feel like I'm getting a little redundant here. So thank you all for hanging out with us. Again, next week we will have Sammy Flo, the Barber and Cigar co-founder, on the show. We're going to be hanging out heavy. Bring your questions. Definitely don't hold back. Sammy Flo is a great guy. I know you guys can see him in the comments all the time. He comments a lot on Facebook, so you guys on YouTube, you have to kind of see his comments that get put up on the screen. So most of the comments usually end up on the screen, but not always. But Sammy Flo hangs out heavy on Facebook. So I'm super excited to have him on the show next week. I'm going to have some questions for him, talk about the whole idea behind the barber and cigar situation, what it's like working with barn smokers and doing all the barber, the haircuts and whatnot, and how that works out. But also, he's just heavy in the culture. He's big. He's big in the culture. He's big on, things that surround the cigar lifestyle and cigar culture and everything that has to do around with it. So, bring some questions. I know that he's not somebody who shies away from talking. He loves to talk. Looking forward. If there was a way I could play virtual dominoes with him on stream, I think I would. Just because I think that would be fun. Might not make fantastic live stream content, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. But no, yeah, Barber and Cigar, Sammy Flo coming on next week instead of Bob the Cigar Guy because he'll be packing up for his vacation. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Just having a whole bunch of fun. Really appreciate everybody hanging out heavy, and we'll be back next week. See you. Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com. Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go. Go.